Welcome to TSSAA Playoff Football, Round 2 of the playoffs, game number 1 for the Red Raiders. Welcome to Haywood Stadium, Baylor School campus on the banks of the Tennessee River. Baylor undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state of Tennessee. Red Raiders played 2 weeks ago right here, and their opposition, Knox Catholic, 49-28 win in the final regular season game. Then we had the postseason play. Baylor gets a first-round bye. Knox Catholic has to go from Knoxville to Memphis to take on Christian Brothers, and the Fighting Irish survive with a 21-18 win. And remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago, Craig, when they said, we might be back here in 2 weeks. Well, that exact scenario has indeed played out. So it's game number 2 between these two teams, the Red Raiders and Fighting Irish, after they met on Halloween night, as you recall.
Boy, how strange is it to play back-to-back games against the exact same team? But this one, Jim, the stakes are a whole lot higher. The loser of this one is done for the season. So this is what the Baylor Red Raiders have been working for since June, and it all starts tonight.
Talking to head coach Eric Kimry of the Red Raiders earlier today, says you got to be aware of the chaos. And he goes, remember, you got someone backed in the corner fighting for their lives. Both these teams are. It is win or go home, right? Someone's season is going to end tonight of these two teams. So what are you going to leave, for next week or the week next after that? Nothing. The answer is nothing. You're going to use every single weapon in your arsenal tonight to advance. And that old cliche about it, survive and advance, that is absolutely 100% true.
Well, I think you got to match the intensity of the moment, not just your opponent, but of the moment, which means you need to be hitting on all cylinders from the opening kick, which really shouldn't be a problem for the Baylor offense. They've been very effective all season long. But, boy, matching the intensity, Jim, of the moment, because Knox Catholic knows exactly the situation that they're in tonight.
And the other thing that Eric Kimry was talking to me about, because the other team, like I said, they're not going to leave anything, right? How many onside kicks you're going to see? None, 3, 5, or how many gadget plays? How many razzle-dazzle type plays? Everything is on the table tonight. You're not saving anything for next week because you're not sure there's going to be a next week.
I think the benefit for both teams having just played each other is they can look at that tape and say, if we just done this or just done that, they can make some pretty intense adjustments, and you might see the full bag of tricks from both of these teams tonight.
In this East region, Baylor finished number 1 with a 5-0 record in region play, 9-0 overall. Ensworth finished in second, 4-1, with their only loss to the Red Raiders in region play, 7-3 overall. McCallie finished third, 3-2 in the region, 8-2 overall. Then MBA, Knox Catholic, and CPA all tied at 1-4. Knox Catholic advanced, and they went into the first round of the playoffs on the road at Christian Brothers. So 12 teams went in the playoffs last week. Knox Catholic against Christian Brothers. Knox Catholic survived. They'll take on Baylor, the number 1 seed, who received a first-round bye. McCallie had to beat Father Ryan last week. They did so convincingly, 15-20. McCallie advances. They'll travel to Briarcrest tonight. Briarcrest, the number 2 seed from the West. And Briarcrest hosting McCallie tonight, so that game will be an hour behind this game. The TSSAA does dictate that all games kick off at 7 o'clock. CPA and Lipscomb played last week in the opening round, and CPA advanced with a win over Lipscomb, 35-24. CPA taking on Ensworth. Ensworth, the number 2 seed from the East. Ensworth received a first-round bye. And then MBA played MUS, Memphis University School. MBA won that game handily, 44-14. MBA advances and will take on now Brentwood Academy tonight. Brentwood Academy receiving a first-round bye. So the teams that got byes in the first round were Baylor, Briarcrest, Ensworth, and Brentwood Academy. And the teams that had to advance with a win last week were Knox Catholic, McCallie, CPA, and MBA. So there are 4 games tonight. Knox Catholic here at Baylor, McCallie on the road at Briarcrest, CPA at Ensworth, MBA at Brentwood Academy. If Baylor wins tonight, they would be at home again next week and would take on the winner of McCallie and Briarcrest. But I just have a hunch that Eric Kimry and company said, you know what? Let's not mention the possibility of a game next week, especially the possibility of eliminating McCauley. How sweet would that be? Let's concentrate on the Fighting Irish tonight.
Absolutely, because that really doesn't matter. You've got to set the table to get there, and it depends on the Red Raiders coming out and really playing their best football of the season in this moment tonight.
Mentioned 9-0 for the season for the Red Raiders and 5-0 in region play. Began the season, seemed like a long time ago, on August 22nd, beating Santa Lucia's 56-17. Then it was a tough game against Rayburn Gap, where Baylor claimed a 35-34 win. That game at Brentwood Academy that ended up being canceled after the Red Raiders went all the way there. They were ready to kick it off when the Lightning came, and the Lightning never stopped. Then the Red Raiders came back home, beat LFL Academy 42-30. Then that tough 3-game schedule, 3 games on the road at CPA, at MBA, and at McCauley. Baylor winning all 3 of those games, beating CPA 47-7, beating MBA 45-18, and beating McCauley across the way 38-35. Then the bye, then those final 3 games of the year all at home. And I think that toughness in the middle part of the schedule, those 3 straight on the road, that was a great springboard for this Red Raider football team.
Winning at home is hard. Winning on the road is harder. And when you do that 3 times in a row, Jim, that means, your team is able to function in a difficult environment. And tonight, can they turn it up even another notch? That's the question that they get to answer in just a few minutes.
Yeah, those 3 games on the road, all against region competition, including their number 1 rival, McCauley at McCauley, which was a great game. Could there be a rematch? There very well could be. And then they finished in style with wins over Ensworth. That was a huge game because it gave Baylor the number 1 seed. And talking to Eric Kimry earlier today, really just a couple hours ago in all honesty, I was saying, what does that number 1 seed mean? He goes, well, we're not getting on a bus. And say what you will, and I'm an old man, that travel can take things out of you. And he said, we're thankful we do not have to do that. We don't have to get on a bus and go to Knoxville or Nashville or Memphis or even Chattanooga for the opening game.
If you look back at that Ensworth game, that was probably, Jim, the best open field tackling team that Baylor has faced in the last 2 seasons. They had to work for every bit of that win, a very pro-style offense. They tackled well. They blocked well. That was a great test for Baylor, and they did a great, Ensworth did a great job on special teams also and kind of showed Baylor some things they needed to work on. And so that was definitely a win, but it also developed their football team as well.
All right, let's talk about what the Red Raiders, how did they get to this point? How did they get to number 1? How did they get to 9-0 for the year? I'm going to start with Briggs Cherry all day long. If you take a look at the turnover margin, that will help you predict a whole lot of games. And Briggs Cherry, dare I say it, has not thrown an interception all season long.
Well, we talk about it every week. The word is comfort. He has a great comfort level in this offense. What does that mean? He knows what buttons to push. He knows where to miss with the football. He knows where his receivers are supposed to be, and he gets the ball to them when they're supposed to get, usually in stride. Very accurate passer, makes great decisions, doesn't run a lot, but when he does, it usually is in a crucial, usually on 3rd down, and it moves the chains. So that's part of the thing. Of course, the guy everybody wants to see is David Gabriel Georges, and he has been explosive at times, spectacular every game he's on the field. He's been a little bit nicked up, but I think a couple of weeks off, he's as close to full speed as anybody's going to be this late in the season.
I asked Eric Kimry about injuries overall. He said, well, this time of year, let me say, everyone hurts.
Sure.
Everyone hurts is playing this game, every level, everywhere. NFL, college, high school, wherever it is. You can't play this game and you can't practice as many days that they do and not feel like your body is taking a little bit of a beating. So he said, all our guys are healthy, a little bit nicked up. He goes, if we have a lead in the second half and I can take players out, the ones that are the healthiest will stay in, and the ones that need a rest, they'll come out first. But you're taking a look at some of those big guys on the offensive line, and that's Charlie Edgeworth right there, number 71, and then you see Xavier Wade, 74 in front of him. We have to mention that offensive line because Briggs, Cherry, David, Gabriel, Georges, that receiving core would not do all the things they have done without those unsung heroes.
They've done a fantastic job. Gabe Osenda, Maddox McClure, Cash Freeman, Xavier Wade. You talked about Charlie Esworth. And let's don't forget the tight end, Braxton Rain. What's even more impressive about these guys is that at times they have to fill in on the defensive line, and they're effective there as well. So those big guys up front will see a lot of action probably on both sides of the football tonight.
In that receiving core, the one thing I would say about this, Baylor has outstanding receivers, and you have to choose who you want to double team. If you double team Caden Dewey, Jamian Theodore is going to have an outstanding night. But we've seen other guys. Judah Smith has had a big year. Hank DeGennaro's made some catches, especially last game. So that receiving core, you can't double team. You can't just worry about one. You better worry about two or three.
And let's remember what we saw 2 weeks ago. They've made tough catches in tight coverage, which means they have great concentration, and they've done that all season long. You'll see more of that tonight.
It should be a good contest, of the rematch, if you will, between Baylor and Knox Catholic. Baylor won 2 weeks ago, 49-28 right here. TSSAA football, the Fighting Irish and the Red Raiders here at Haywood Stadium. Stay tuned.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Baylor School, Haywood Stadium, Red Etter Field, and tonight's TSSAA Division II AAA quarterfinal playoff game between the Knoxville Catholic Fighting Irish and the Red Raiders of Baylor. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to our visitors from Knoxville, and at this time we would like to introduce the starting lineup for the Irish, coached by Philip Shadowins. In numerical order, the starters are number 1, wide receiver, sophomore Amari McKenzie. Number 2, sophomore free safety Brooks Johnston. Number 3, sophomore wide receiver Braylon Gibbs. Number 4, senior defensive back Chaz Smith. Number 5, sophomore defensive back Xavier Bowman. Number 6, senior linebacker Dominic Dadabo. Number 7, senior wide receiver Tyreek King. Number 8, freshman running back Cruz Bunton. Number 10, junior quarterback and punter Mac Bartholomew. Number 16, senior wide receiver Kason Jenkins. Number 18, senior holder Andrew Ballingy. Number 22, senior defensive back George Mancini. Number 30, junior running back Zeke Chestnut. Number 32, senior linebacker Caleb Johnson. Number 33, senior linebacker Gavin Jones. Number 40 tonight, freshman linebacker Marquise Witt. Number 45, junior defensive end Ethan Hill. Number 55, senior offensive lineman J.R. Fowler. Number 57, senior offensive and defensive lineman Anton Hamilton. Number 66, sophomore long snapper Jax Nichols. Number 71, senior offensive lineman Isiaga Yatara. Number 73, senior offensive lineman Jacob Rice. Number 76, senior offensive and defensive lineman Jeremy George. Number 80, sophomore kicker Matthew Io. The officials for tonight's game are a crew from Nashville. The referee is Austin McMullen. The umpire is Frank Sterator. The head linesman is Kenny Brewer. The line judge is Derek Hurst. The back judge is Roger Retke. The field judge is Tracy Logan. The side judge is Carrie Russ. And the electric clock operator is James. Tonight's high school football game is made possible in part by Park Ridge Health System. With 5 hospitals working together as one in the Chattanooga region, Park Ridge Health provides a full range of medical and mental health care, including sports medicine and orthopedics. For more information, visit parkridgehealth.com. This game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help to promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship.
Fighting Irish and the Red Raiders. Let's take a look at the Knox Catholic Fighting Irish. 6-4 in the year, 1-4 in region play. They were 3-0 at home and 4-2 on the road this year. Won their first 3 games of the year, beating Riverdale 20-6, winning at Anderson County, beating Lipscomb 41-20, then had a bye week. First loss of the season was to MBA 13-10, beat Silverdale, a team we're familiar with around here, 55-21. Lost at Ensworth convincingly 35-6, had another bye week, lost to McCauley 44-22, beat CPA 28-26, lost here to Baylor 2 weeks ago 49-28, and I'll give them credit, Craig, went on the road and beat a tough Christian Brothers team last week by 3, 21-18 to keep their season alive. They thought there was a good possibility of them coming back here. Now, Knox Catholic, they finished number 5 in the East, so there's 6 teams in the East, 6 teams in the West. They finished number 5 in the East, and in their opening round game had to take on the number 4 team from the West. They win that game. Now they'll take on the number 1 team tonight. But we saw them just 2 weeks ago, and I think that's when they made the quarterback change that they're sticking with tonight.
Mac Bartholomew will get the starts for the Fighting Irish, and his number 1 target, Tyreek King, the Tennessee commit, and we saw him and go one-on-one with Jamie and Theodore 2 weeks ago, and it was an epic battle. King coming up with 2 long touchdowns. You can rest assured they're going to get the ball to number 7 in white just as soon as they can on their opening offensive series. He was a load to deal with for the Baylor defense.
But he wasn't the only player. He might have been the best player, but he wasn't the only player that caused Baylor some problems a couple of weeks ago.
They went to their other receiver also, Braylon Gibbs, and they did a nice job, just enough on the ground to kind of set things up. They were a difficult team to deal with, and you can rest assured they're going to be just as difficult, if not more so tonight, because it's either win or you're on that bus for the rest of your season is over.
Yeah, Cruz Bunton is the running back for the Fighting Irish. I thought he was good. But what I wondered about before the game, could that offensive line for the Fighting Irish, could they hold up against Baylor's defensive line? And I think for the most part, held their own pretty well.
They went to somewhat of a quick game to trying the best they could to neutralize the Baylor pass rush, and a couple of times max protect. They did a pretty decent job of just staying in the game, and they scored a couple of touchdowns late. The final was 49-28. Read into that whatever you will, but they're going to see some things that they didn't see 2 weeks ago tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you mentioned, it is win or go home. It's a cliche, but it will be very much in vogue tonight. How many trick plays will we see? How many onside kicks will we see, or anything like that? Should be a pretty good matchup between the Fighting Irish of Knoxville Catholic and the Red Raiders, ranked number 1 in the state of Tennessee. The Red Raiders and Fighting Irish tonight.
And now, please turn your attention to the Baylor Jumbotron as the Baylor starters introduce themselves.
Jamie and Theodore, defensive back, senior.
Jordan Davangila, cornerback, junior.
Kobe Barrett, safety, senior.
Corey Faulkner, linebacker, junior.
Cosmo Mario, linebacker, sophomore.
Keegan Whaley, outside linebacker, senior.
Maxim Subonyako, linebacker, sophomore.
Anselme Julien, linebacker, junior.
Jean-Pierre Eto, safety, junior.
Isaac Beeson, defensive line, junior. Jacob Tate, defensive lineman, junior.
Jaden Arenas Michelle, defensive lineman, senior.
David Gabriel George, running back, junior.
Caden Dewey, wide receiver, senior.
Briggs Cherry, quarterback, senior.
Hank DeGennaro, receiver, sophomore.
Judah Smith, wide receiver, senior.
Braxton Rain, tight end, sophomore.
Cash Freeman, center, and junior.
Max McClure, left guard, junior.
Charlie Edgeworth, offensive line, senior.
Xavier Wade, right guard, senior.
John King, offensive line, senior.
Gabriel Othenda, offensive line, senior.
Charlie Silverman, long snapper, senior.
Sam Shutters, kicker, punter, junior.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand for the invocation before tonight's game, to be delivered by Nat Farr, Baylor class of 2003, the chaplain of Baylor School. Then, please remain standing for our national anthem, to be performed tonight by Baylor senior Cody Coppage. First, Reverend Farr.
Before we pray, I invite all those who have served our country and our armed forces to please wave your hand and let us show our support to you this week of Veterans Day. Service and sacrifice take many forms, and we thank you for yours. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. God of all, we are grateful for the opportunity to celebrate a perfect season and to cheer on our team as they meet a challenging opponent once again. May our students know how proud we are of their many accomplishments on and off the field. We pray that you watch over and protect from injury those who play tonight. Instill in all our hearts the spirit of sportsmanship. We pray your blessing on both Knoxville Catholic School and the Baylor School today and every day. And apropos of nothing in particular, bless Briarcrest Christian School tonight. In your loving name we pray. Amen.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
types of raiders in history. Some came by land, others by water, but all arrived with fire in their hearts. Relentless, unshakable, like a repeating nightmare. There, every time you close your eyes, they move as one, hungry, calculated, each yard a battle. Every hit, a warning. They live and breathe one goal, one purpose. To take, to break, to conquer. They are Red Raiders.
Going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, yeah, going crazy, going dumb. On my mind, lay it all out on the field right now. We all losing time, they don't lose your mind, they I'm bougie, huh? We fly movies, yeah, don't rock coochie, huh? Catch me Drake and Louis, huh? Posted with that Toolie, huh? Boy, don't make me do it, huh? Playing games, you stupid, huh? I don't love a Cupid, huh? Aiming like Cam Newton, huh? Yeah, they think that we ruthless, huh?
Who's on the other side of the ball doesn't matter. Every Friday night is ours when we're elite. You understand that?
Going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, going crazy, going dumb, yeah, going crazy.
These Raiders are not to be trifled with. They are dangerous.
The captains will meet at midfield for the coin toss. The captains tonight for Knoxville Catholic, number 6, Dominic Databo, number 16, Casey Jenkins, number 33, Gavin Jones, and number 57, Anton Hamilton. For Baylor, the captains are Jamian Theodore, Briggs Cherry, Colby Barrett, and Gabe Osenda. We'll take you down to the field. Big Red Nation, please welcome your 2025 Baylor Red Raiders.
Even Dan Kennedy was getting broken up there, right?
He's ready to go.
No surprise there. Baylor ultra aggressive. I'd say offensively, they win the toss. There's no defer in Eric Kimmery's game, I don't think.
No, when you have that kind of horsepower, step on the gas and go.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job of scoring on how many first possessions so far this year. That's kind of their MO. You grab the lead, you make the other team play catch up against the number one team in the state of Tennessee.
Offensively, they apply pressure as often as they possibly can throughout the football game, and it's worked for years here.
And I would say this, that's exactly right. Apply pressure and never let another team feel comfortable, right?
Never. Cause conflict and bad decisions. Absolutely.
So Red Raiders will get the football first. That means Briggs Cherry, the 6'4", 210 senior quarterback, the Louisville Cardinal commit, be ready to take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Out of the picture, David Gabriel Georges on the far sideline, Caden Dewey on the near sideline to receive the kick.
I would call that choose your
Dangerous.
poison.
Yes.
Choose your poison. Kickoff near side. You can see returned across the 20 to near the 30-yard line. That's Caden Dewey with the return. Senior, 6', 175. He and Jamian Theodore, I think that 1-2 punch, that wide receiver spot, that has been outstanding for the Red Raiders so far this season.
Consistent, effective, and at times spectacular.
So Baylor takes over on the, we'll call it the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Red Raiders with the possession. Let's see if they just try to stretch things on play number 1. That would not shock me in any way. See the 2 receivers top of your screen on 1st down and 10. That's a good option as well. Staggers his way for a 10, 15, 20-yard gain on 1st down from the 29-yard line to near midfield in one play. And you saw that David Gabriel Georges never really got on track, never really got it in high gear, but staggered and stumbled his way for a gain of about 21 yards to midfield. We'll call it 20, and even 20 to the 49. That's a play. Usually you get 6 or 7 yards, you're happy, right? Cherry with time. Throws it underneath. Wow. Underneath and an incomplete pass. Pretty good pop right there. Separated player from football.
Dominic Dadabo with a nice hit there. Caden Dewey looked upfield at the last moment, lost control of the football, incomplete pass. Dadabo from his weak side linebacker spot defensively that time.
Yeah, he sent a little calling card that time, I think. 2nd down and 10. Red Raiders on their own 49-yard line. Cherry swings it out to David Gabriel Georges. Running room once again. You know, there could be a hole there sometimes for 0. Sometimes there's not. If there's not, he creates his own.
That's probably the first time they've gone to him as the first option out
Yeah,
of that formation. They put him in motion quite often, and that's a nice wrinkle to show early in this game.
So it's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down, about 3 yards to go. Baylor has to get to the 41-yard line to pick up a 1st down. So 3rd down and 3. Right in front of us. Cherry operates from the gun as usual. Between the tackles and does not get that 3 yards. In fact, might have lost a yard or 2. So I would guess that this will be a go on 4th down because you're kind of in that no man's land. Too long for a field goal attempt. Not enough, upside to punt it away. On a 4th down situation, you might as well just go for it. And he did. How many times this year have we said David Gabriel Georges for a loss?
That was fantastic, pressured by Anton Hamilton and that Knox Catholic defensive line there.
They empty the backfield, trying to draw him offside originally. So 5 in the pattern, 2 left, 3 right. Knox Catholic stayed disciplined right there. Cherry with time, over the middle in the dark. Couldn't hit the tight end, Braxton Rain, that time.
Kind of forced that ball there, and man, that Knox Catholic sideline is ecstatic after that possession.
That's a win for the Fighting Irish. Holding Baylor after Baylor on the first play, gains 20 yards. Couldn't get that second 1st down on the opening drive of the game, which took exactly 2 minutes.
Looked for Braxton Rain on that conversion. That was great coverage by the Irish. And it's already that's their first sideline warning.
Sideline warning, Knoxville Catholic. The results of the play, 1st down.
I think you should get 1 or 2 mulligans to celebrate. You make a big play, you ought to get 1 or 2, right?
I mean, they earned
Come
that
on,
one.
sideline warning.
They earned that one.
But here's how officials work. You call things tighter early, and then they won't become a bigger problem later on. So you just sideline warning that doesn't mean anything. No penalty, no yardage walked off, 1st and 10, but you get everyone's attention.
Jim, at the top of your screen, Tyreek King versus Jamian Theodore. That's the marquee matchup of the night. Expect the Irish to go deep on this possession.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if they went deep on play one. And it wouldn't surprise me if they just went short and probably threw it on the sideline around the 50-yard line either.
That's Braylon Gibbs, the sophomore, 6'3", 170. Just took advantage of the cushion on the coverage, and that's a outstanding gain on 1st down.
Back to the number 7, Tyreek King, a 5-star wide receiver committed to Tennessee. And then Jamian Theodore, the defensive back for the Red Raiders, also a UT commit. So they better get used to going against each other because they'll be doing a whole lot of it. 2nd down for the Irish and a flag. If it's on Baylor, it may be just enough for an Irish 1st down.
Yep, it's more than enough.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Huh.
First penalty of the night, and it moves the chains.
To the Red Raiders 44. Mac Bartholomew, the quarterback. He did not start 2 weeks ago. Trying to go wide. Baylor a decent job of stringing it out. That was Matthew Rogers, the sophomore running back. You saw that he's got some speed, some quicks. He could have been caught behind the line of scrimmage and strung it out a little bit and got a positive yard or two. And I know that doesn't sound like much.
Well, it looked like it could have gone for a lot more, but Colby Barrett and company strung it out and closed to make the tackle.
Yeah, what did Eric Kimry talk about? Talked about discipline. We're going to see a gadget play. We're going to see something you're not used to seeing. He goes, don't worry about the chaos. Just be disciplined as always. Underneath, there's the 5-star receiver making the catch and wisely getting out of bounds right near the 31, 32-yard line.
Jim, he was warming up on that pattern pregame. Faking deep, a quick stop to take advantage of the cushion. That's a difficult play to stop there.
Especially with a guy with that much speed. To the 32-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Knox Catholic played last week. Won their game at Christian Brothers. Red Raiders with a 1st-round bye. They had last weekend off. 1st and 10. Coming after the quarterback, and he sees the pressure.
Mac Bartholomew took a shot that time, hung in there, made the completion. That's an outstanding game when you consider how much pressure he was under.
Yeah, Corey Faulkner came right up the middle and had pressure. That's one of those when a quarterback knows, I'm going to take a pop right now. I'm going to hang in there that extra second. He completes the pass and brings it inside the 30-yard line down to the Baylor 29. 3 or 4 yard gain. A little draw right up the middle that time. Good push.
Jim, that's close to another 1st down.
Yeah. But we always wonder, can teams run specifically against Baylor between the tackles? They showed a little push up front. And like I said earlier, I thought they held their own, that offensive line, for the most part against that Baylor defense 2 weeks ago. 3rd down and short. But you might have 2 downs to get a yard right here. I would say in the playoffs that answer is definitely a yes. 3rd and 1. Up the middle. I don't know. We might have to see if there's a 4th down play. Maybe his forward progress, I think it might have given the Irish the 1st down. The spot is down at the 32, and yes.
Yep, that moves it. That moves the chains.
And again, some of the fans are upset, but I thought that initial push, then Baylor's defensive line pushed him back. But I thought the forward progress was enough for a Fighting Irish 1st down. 2 weeks ago, the sophomore Garrett King started quarterback, and Bartholomew came in and I think he impressed everyone. And he hasn't given up that starting job. So 1st and 10.
Interesting formation here. A stack, then they separate. And that's Tyreek King at the bottom of your screen here.
Rolling out near side under pressure. Complete over the middle of the field. That's Kason Jenkins, the senior wide receiver. Found a spot, sat down right there, waited for his quarterback to find him, and completed pass with a flag. Might have been a holding call because, again, there was pretty good pressure by the Red Raiders on Irish quarterback Mac Bartholomew. Hold or no hold?
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal shift on the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding on the offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Yeah, that was Isiaga Yatara trying to deal with Jaden Arenas Michelle of Baylor, and 99 won that battle.
And just for good measure, he hands the official the flag back. I mean,
it's a gentleman.
You don't get that everywhere. Good flag. Here it is. You don't even have to bend down. So 1st down and long, 3rd down and 20 back at the 32-yard line. If you're the Irish, you want to just pick up a chunk of this maybe on this 1st down play. Ouch. That won't work. Jenkins makes the catch, and I think he's sorry he did.
Jamie and Theodore drew the assignment of Tyreek King at the bottom of the pattern. He broke on that football. That's the result of some film work, a fantastic tackle, and a loss of yards on 1st down.
From the 32 back to the 36, so a loss of 4 more. It's 2nd and 24, back at the 36-yard line. Crowd here at Haywood Stadium watching some playoff football. 2nd and 24 is correct. Dropping back, not much pressure, but then the whistle. Play blown dead.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
2nd and 29. And if you're the Irish, after some good things have happened here in the early going, they put this vehicle in reverse right now. The Irish were inside the 30. Now they're back at the 41. Holding call, timing call. That's King in motion. That's also the Red Raider defense in motion and getting to the quarterback. Another flag goes down. He survives, throws it away, but I think this is going to be 10 more yards. I think we're going to have a 2nd down and 39 situation.
Boy, they brought Tyreek King in motion to the top of the screen, and they wanted to go to him deep, and they just had nowhere to go. Mac Bartholomew was under duress thanks to that Baylor defensive line.
Well, you get those long developing plays, and even though I've said that the offensive line...
Holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and 29 from the 36. So you decline that penalty and say make him earn it on 3rd and 29. All the way back at the 41-yard line. 3rd down and 29. The other end of that stick, you see it all the way down inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line. Flush from the pocket, and he runs into a trio of Red Raider defenders.
Boy, that time Bartholomew was under pressure, but Jim, I think the previous 2 plays rattled him a little bit. He had more time to throw the football than he thought, but it goes for naught.
Darren Gila, Arenas Michelle in on that tackle. There's big 99. Pretty good series for him. He beat his man a couple of times and put pressure on the quarterback.
And Bartholomew is also the punter.
Yeah, I don't think you're playing here. I think you're punting, right?
Sure. Oh, my
And of course,
goodness.
I'm wrong. And a pick. That is the difference in playoff football right there.
Jamie and Theodore down. I'll tell you what, Jim, that was as good as a punt.
Exactly.
They send Tyreek King long, and Bartholomew, being the quarterback, has the arm to get it there. And Jamie and Theodore basically turns in instead of a returner, he turns into a safety.
No question.
Makes the interception.
That's one of those, if you really thought about it, you would say, you know what, I would just bat this down and then take it back. Instead, he made the catch, which is, you do that every day in practice, right? You're just so drilled to making that catch. You make that catch and say, you know what, we'll take over inside the 5-yard line with 4:44.
And you know what, Jim? That it would be hard to angle a punt any deeper than that.
You're correct. David Gabriel Georges tripped up as he reaches around the 9-yard line.
David's got an outstanding burst tonight, maybe the best of in the last month or so, and you just get the feeling he is about to pop one.
Sooner or later. And again, he has been a little bit banged up. There's no question about that. And I agree with you. A little more spring in his step so far tonight. He's only carried it 2 or 3 times here in the early going. Second down. Picked up about 5.5, 6 yards on that first down play. Second down and a long 4 from the 9. Setting up the screen far side. Need a block from the receiver. That's good enough for a first down. So you're in the shadow of your own goalpost, and you flip that pass out to Caden Dewey, makes the catch, gives you a first down, and 4 more downs for the Red Raiders. But I would say this. The Irish took over with 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. Didn't give it back to the 4:44 mark. So if you want to limit possessions, which I'm sure they want to do, in a lot of ways, that's a win. Baylor had the football first. They do not score. Irish, some penalties thwarted that last drive, and now they give it back. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at this. Yeah. Pop one. Yeah. Open field. Scary. He's just not going down tonight, is he?
I mean, that's 2 video game moves in one run. They run the double stack formation, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. It looks pass, it's run.
That is a 38-yard gain. From the 9 to the 47. And quickly a Red Raider first down. So they had it at the 3, they had it at the 9, they have it at the 47-yard line. Game play number 4 this drive. Back the other way. The big tight end makes the grab. Gets near midfield and then not wrestled down to the ground. Just the wall came there for the Irish. And at the 48-yard line, Raiders on their second possession of the night have not been in Knox Catholic territory yet this evening.
Number 18, Braxton Rain, their tight end, 6'7", little nicked up there, as you can see.
And he's only a sophomore. Well, they're gonna feed the beast tonight, aren't they?
Something the Baylor offensive line is doing so well tonight, Jim. You notice how David has time to look for holes because he's got such a great push from that offensive line.
And some running backs, I don't know if this is instinct or not, some running backs go too quickly. They run into their own guys. So far tonight, he's let them holes open up, let those offensive linemen do their work. Third down. A lot of flags already here in the early going.
Boy, I've already lost count.
Before the snap, false start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
That's on Xavier Wade. So there's instead of 3rd and 5, 3rd and 10. And you're right, Jim. Lots of penalties so far.
Yeah.
Irish doing a lot of shifting defensively. Now Briggs Cherry's going to audible.
Yeah. Little delay, and then up the middle. Not enough for a first down. Right at midfield once again, meaning you still need about 6 or 7 yards.
And they're going to bring on Sam Shutters to punt.
Sometimes Sam Shutters is the loneliest man in town, right? Doesn't get a lot of opportunities to punt, and you know what? Everyone's fine with that.
If you're the Irish, this is mission accomplished.
Twice.
In the first quarter.
So this is one of those, if you go to Irish head coach Philip Shadowers, before the game you said, if it's tied 0-0 at the end of a quarter, are you happy? He would say all day long. Red Raider roll.
And what a
Still
great
rolling.
kick.
Inside the 5, down at the 3, at the 2.
What a great kick by Sam
What a roll.
Shutters.
So Baylor 2 possessions. They've given it up on downs. Couldn't convert on a 4th down and a punt. Fighting Irish, they give up an interception/punt, I would say.
Yes.
Throw a long interception that Baylor picked off at around the 3-yard line. So Red Raiders return the favor, start over at the 3 with 14 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Quick moving first quarter.
Yeah.
I don't want to overstate this, but they have really not gotten the ball to Tyreek King the way they've wanted to in the first quarter. He is at the top of the screen.
Number 7. Not much between the tackles that time.
And Jim, I think field position has a lot to do with that. Baylor's done a nice job defensively, making Mac Bartholomew very uncomfortable at the quarterback spot. Got him off his spot a couple of times. And the first quarter ends scoreless. Who'd have thought that?
Zero.
Direct your attention to the 25-yard line at the north end of the field. Please join us in recognizing the Baylor swimming and diving team for another historic season. Last year, the Baylor's girls team captured the TISCA state championship, while the program secured its 20th consecutive combined state championship, one of the longest championship streaks in Tennessee high school athletics. During the regular season, the girls finished a perfect 5-0, and the program posted an outstanding 10-1 combined record. The boys' 400 freestyle relay not only won a state title, but also broke the Tennessee state record. On the national level, Baylor produced 5 individual All-Americans, and all 6 relays earned All-American honors, highlighted by the boys' 400 free relay finishing 7th in the nation. Please give it up for the athletes, coaches, and families who continue to elevate Baylor swimming and diving on both the state and national stage.
Another one of those state champion trophies. The swimming and diving team. Congratulations to them. All right, Fighting Irish with a football and a long way to go. But, like I said, if you're Knox Catholic, you're saying that a 0-0 tie at the end of a quarter against the top-ranked team in the state, that is a W for the Irish. Trying to run right up the gut that time. Like I said, neither team has had a whole lot of success. Cruz Bunton, the ball carrier. Jacob Tate, defensive lineman for the Red Raiders, making the stop.
Third down and 7. This would be a great 3-and-out to start the second quarter for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, this would be a field position changer right here. 3rd and 7. See if they get pressure. Send one linebacker and throwing it long.
Boy, they had him too.
They did have him. I'm surprised he didn't make a better
Tyreek
adjustment at the end.
He thought the ball was going to go to his right. He had separation behind the defense and behind Colby Barrett. By the time he found the football, it had hit the ground. Baylor dodged a bullet there. We got a player down as well.
Yeah, they're going to try and free up Tyreek King as many times as possible. It's Emory Julian, I believe, the injured player for the Red Raiders. Putting some pressure on the quarterback from his linebacker spot. I just tweaked an ankle a little bit. You can see him gingerly coming off the field, but he's an important part of that Baylor defense. Yeah, slow to come off the field. And
it has been a long season for both of these teams. As for this play, Jamie and Theodore, number 1, back at about the 40 for the Red Raiders. Again, Bartholomew, the kicker, and the quarterback.
low snap. Decent kick. You want to get away. So Baylor will begin this drive, it looks like, on the Knox Catholic side of the field on around the 48-yard line. Boy, playoff football, it's just a different animal. What you saw in the regular season does not necessarily translate, does it?
Knox Catholic is 3-4 notches better than they were 2 weeks ago on this very same field.
And playoff tested. A playoff win, I believe, helps you in those situations. You kind of get used to it. They had to go on the road last week and pulled out a 3-point win over Christian Brothers to advance to this game. Red Raiders stack 2 receivers. Pass complete to Theodore. Burst of speed down the near sideline. Bam.
Wow. Jim, that time they run the double stack, and for one of the few times this season they throw out of it. Jamie and Theodore on the near sideline, beats the first obstacle and then takes it to the house.
It's a 48-yard touchdown reception at the 10:48 mark. Boy, that was a burst of speed. Sometimes coaches talk about angles. They thought they had an angle on Theodore on the near sideline. He outran the angle.
And in a blink, that angle was gone. Spread the field. They had numbers on their side, and the speed of Jamie and Theodore.
One play and 48 yards.
And another flag.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
Most of the penalties pre-snap, Jim, which will drive coaches absolutely crazy, especially in the postseason.
Yeah, they were a little bit slow getting Sam Shutters on the field, and that ended up costing him. See if it cost him any points or not. Cosmo DiMatteo, the holder. A longer version of the extra point. Some movement on the line, as you saw. Maybe Knox Catholic just gave that 5 yards right back.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
It's not very often you see 2 penalties on a PAT, right?
No. And if you're the Irish, you got to wonder, they had the ball, Jim, deep in Baylor territory and went backwards, and they've gone backwards ever since.
Yeah. Extra point for the Red Raiders is good by Shutters. And the Red Raiders take the lead, a 7-0 advantage at the 10:48 mark of the second quarter. So after a scoreless first quarter, Red Raiders on the board on a Jamian Theodore 48-yard touchdown run. You know, you see some guys that are very talented, extreme, but there's other guys out there that are just special. I think Jamian Theodore is one of those. Watch the burst of speed.
Bottom of your screen right here. He gets a nice block, and right here, the play is over. He kicks in the turbos and blows by everybody else. Again, an outstanding block downfield, and they make this look really easy. Hank DeGennaro with the block that really springs everything. Number 1 gets it done.
Receivers love receivers who can block, right?
Well, you know the phrase, if you block,
you get the rock. That means Hank's got at least one target coming up, right?
Hank's got one coming.
7-0 lead for the Red Raiders. A couple of nice looks at that Jamian Theodore 48-yard touchdown reception from Briggs Cherry. Nice end-over-end kick, placed well to 10. Given some ground. Still on his feet near the 30-yard line, so a decent return.
That's Amare McKenzie, number 1, 5'6", 155 sophomore with a nice return there for the Irish.
It looked like Baylor had him corralled, but he just kept moving. And brings it up to nearly the 30-yard line to begin this drive. So not bad field position starting at the 29. Let's see if things are different now that Baylor has a 1 touchdown lead. 1st and 10 for the Irish on their own 29-yard line. 7-0 lead for the Red Raiders early in this second quarter.
Jim, last possession, Tyreek King got behind everybody for the Irish. Couldn't get the ball to him.
Don't think that both coaching staffs didn't take note of that. Handoff, first man threw up to around the 31, about a 2-yard pickup.
I tell you what, this one's not for the faint of heart at the line of scrimmage. I don't know who they're going to call here. I don't know if they're going to call that on Maxim Sukanyako of Baylor or
I think
the Irish.
Sukanyako was one of those, he took the shot or the push or whatever. And as they say, you always see the second one. You don't see what originally caused it. And then there was a push.
And I think Jaden Arenas Michelle is going to made not number 99's made the call for us.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 30. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's second down.
To say that was not smart is an understatement.
Yeah, if you're trying to pull off the upset, right? That's 15 yards. You were at the 31, so instead you're back at the 16-yard line. And it's still second down. Second down and now 23. Yeah, have to get to the 39-yard line. Complete over the middle on the slant. They get a big chunk of it back right there.
That was a great throw by Bartholomew. He found Braylon Gibbs. Braylon initially covered. Bartholomew waited for the second window to open at the middle of the field, a much easier completion, and now they have second and manageable.
Yeah, second down about 6.
Excuse me, third and manageable.
You're right,
third and 6.
So it was second and 23. But as you mentioned, the whole key to that was Bartholomew having enough time to throw and get a secondary receiver open over the middle of the field. Third down. 3-man front. Pulls it back again with time. Dances in the pocket. In trouble and throws a duck up in the air and wisely throws it away. Good catch. Our camera guys, they practice that. You don't see them before the game, but they work on that one-handed.
They work hard too. Yeah, Bartholomew looking deep, first, second, and third. Then the pressure comes, and there's just nowhere to go with the football. That is a solid defensive call on that play by the Red Raiders.
So that's the thing. If you can get pressure with a three-man front, sometimes you're going to send that linebacker, the rover back or bandit, whatever you want to call it. But if you can get pressure with three, things are going to go well. Nice high kick. No fair catch, but brought down immediately at the 25-yard line.
Jamie and Theodore, man, that's tough traffic there to make the catch. Nice hands and very good ball security there. Okay, Jim, this is where things for the past 2 seasons have started to change. In situations just like this, this is where Baylor usually puts the foot on the gas. Plenty of time here, 9 minutes left in the first half.
Starting at the 25-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, 9 minutes to play in half number 1. Red Raiders up by a touchdown. Cherry with a screen pass back the other way, bobbled a little bit. And
how about that, Jim? Really barely held on to the football. It ends up as a first down. Another nice offensive call to take advantage of what the defense was showing.
Yeah, you can get it to one of your top playmakers without having to send him through that defensive line, right? So something we haven't seen a whole lot of, setting up a screen pass for David Gabriel Georges. Makes the catch. Plays a little volleyball there for a second. Brings it up to the 35-yard line. Cherry pulls it back. Finds a receiver open near side. There's a guy that deserved it after that block on the last one. Yeah.
Hank D.
D. Gennaro makes the reception, gets another Red Raider first down.
And turns it upfield to move the sticks.
So I think as far as the Red Raiders are concerned, I think they had a little feeling out process in the first quarter. Now I think we're going to those pages 3, 4, and 5 in the playbook right now.
Well, first downs lead to touchdowns.
First and 10, 25, first and 10, 35, first and 10, 49-yard line.
Boy, I thought if David would have cut to his left, he had plenty of room to run. As it was, that was a physical carry for number 0.
I agree with you. Physically, he looks better tonight than he has in several weeks. Second down of this drive after a 5-yard pickup on first down.
Beckham Stokes in for Baylor at the top of your screen, number 7.
Sophomore wide receiver. Cherry again, play action, but that'll be stopped.
Number 57 for Knoxville Catholic, Anton Hamilton. They list him as a defensive.
Before the snap, false start, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still second down.
They list Anton Hamilton, number 57, as a defensive end, but he's done a lot of nice work at the nose guard spot. Now he moves to left defensive end. And we talked about Beckham Stokes. He gets called for that offsides.
Yeah, Anton Hamilton plays on the offensive line as well, so he's in the trenches one way or the other. Over the middle. That was nice. Right on the hands of the tight end. Make it rain. Braxton Rain, middle of the field, and breaks Cherry through a fastball that time. The big tight end makes the reception into the end zone for another Red Raider score.
6'7" sophomore. Nice blocking. That one took some time to develop, but they left Braxton Rain alone in the middle of the field, and you see what happens when that happens. We talked about when things start to change, Red Raiders score in less than 2 minutes.
Takes them 1:40 to be exact. Remember, they took the possession with exactly 9 minutes. That drive ends up being 75 yards. 1:40 time of possession in 4 plays. Touchdown pass brings Cherry to Braxton Rain, and Braxton Rain was open in the middle of the field, and like I said, Briggs Cherry unleashed a fastball. Braxton Rain made the catch. Watch the big tight end. This is like stick him on the hands.
Play action to David Gabriel George's. Time to throw. Look at Braxton Rain. Get right in the middle of the field and just waited. And then nobody around him. No safety help over the top. The result, a touchdown for the Red Raiders.
But he had to fling that over the outstretched arms of the linebacker, Dominic Dadabio. And once he got it past that, and the linebacker almost knocked it away, when it got past the linebacker into the arms of the tight end, nothing but green grass. Or green artificial turf.
Yes.
So last two possessions have been touchdowns for the Red Raiders. Baylor's first possession, they turn it over on down. Second possession, a punt. Third and fourth possession, touchdown.
They just have so many weapons.
Jamie and Theodore with a touchdown reception. Braxton Rain with a touchdown reception. It's a dangerous ground ball right there. Takes that hop into the end zone.
Smart play by Amari McKenzie of the Irish to let that go. That had a lot of English on it. And they will start at the 20.
7:20 to play in the first half. Now a 14-0 lead for the number one team in the state, looking to go 10-0 with a win here tonight. If Baylor wins tonight, they would be at home again next week. At home next week, and again, it's the TSSAA. I saw some people came in late because normally Baylor kicks off at 7:30. TSSAA says all playoff games start at 7 local time. Baylor would take on the winner of Macaulay and Briarcrest.
And they go to King that time, and another solid open field tackle by Jamie and Theodore. We talk about that a lot, folks, as those are two of the best athletes in the state on the same side of the field, one-on-one against each other.
I asked Eric Kimry, sometimes I ask dumb questions, and guess what I'm going to get? I said, do you enjoy watching that? I said, you see a great defensive back against a great receiver. He goes, I don't have time to worry about their guy. I'm worried about my guy. I go, you know what? That was a dumb question. I said, as a football fan, he goes, I guess as a fan, you'd enjoy that. I get it, Coach. I understand it. You don't have time to do that. It's pretty funny.
That was Cruz Bunton that time. That was their best running play of the first half.
Yeah, Bunton's only carried the ball a couple of times so far this first half.
Baylor's done a nice job, Jim, of neutralizing, especially that A gap. That time, the Irish are able to pop one for a first down.
33-yard line, first down and 10. Irish might start to see, to feel a little pressure right now. They're going to get the football first to start the second half. So you've got the ball now. You're down by 14. I know this. You don't want to be down by 2 scores. If the Irish do something here.
Before the snap infraction. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on our guy, Anton Hamilton. Jim, mistakes like that, and you're going to be kicking this football back to the guys in red pretty quickly.
Yeah, again, when you're trying to pull off an upset, you got to bring your A game, right?
You have to function.
You got to say, I got to bring my A game.
Level.
If they bring only their B game or C game, then I got a chance.
And they played the style of football they wanted to play in the first quarter, not
so
much in the second.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were 0-0 at the end of a quarter. Pass underneath is complete, but
I'm going to tell you, Jim, that goes down as a slip, but that's a positive thing because Jamie and Theodore was coming fast and furious and headhunting.
So now second down, about 14. Wide receivers playing Roadrunner right there, right? Spinning those wheels. Couldn't get going in the other direction. Second down and long. Teams talk about staying on schedule. That means pick up 3-4 yards on first down. Now you lose 4. You're way off schedule. You have to do something above and beyond on down number 2. Time. Oh.
Ouch.
Down number 2 hurt.
Corey Faulkner and Jaden Arenas Michelle, 9 and 99. dropping a bomb there for the Red Raiders.
Like I said, when you have a three-man front, you can send a fourth guy, and a lot of times that offensive line doesn't know where that bandit linebacker or that rogue linebacker, star linebacker, everyone has different terms, they don't know where that roving back is going to come from.
Well, the nose guard and the linebacker met at the quarterback.
That time, Corey Faulkner went from his linebacker spot and introduced himself to Mac Bartholomew. Now it's all the way back to that's an 8-yard loss back to the 21-yard line. Bartholomew being chased again, being dropped again.
And again, Corey Faulkner, number 9.
He's having a day.
Just lays waste to the Irish offensive line.
So again, a drive that started at the 20 and ends at the 19. So they went down the field and went in reverse once again. And actually, this will be -1 yard on this drive for the Fighting Irish.
Here comes Corey Faulkner again.
I was going to say, he bobbled it for just a second. Fair catch called for around the 48-yard line by Jamian Theodore.
You know, Jim, I think it's pretty fair to say the Red Raiders a little more spring in their step on both sides of the football. That week off did them a world of good.
I think the week off did them a world of good. I think it took them a quarter to get going, though. Eric Kimmery always talks about staying in your routine. What is your routine? In an open date, as good as it is, don't get me wrong. I'd take one right now myself, in all honesty, but Craig and I are going to Mercer tomorrow to see the Mocs.
Yes, we are.
And the 8th-ranked Mercer Bears in Macon. Spring in a step.
Boy, they brought Braxton Rain in motion, and he just turned upfield. There was just a red wall in front of David Gabriel Georges. That was an easy. They just trucked the whole Irish defensive line to move the chains for another first down. Watch number 18, folks. He usually leads the way.
He's thrown a block or two, caught a touchdown pass. Pretty good half for big number 18. Look at the acceleration. He won't go down. Boy, he's dangerous every time. There is no way he should have got more than 2 yards on that play.
And that just wears, another first down, that just grinds and wears down a defense. Looks like Cash Freeman, the center, number 55, a little nicked up. Looks like that left arm. 55 is going to stay in there.
That went from the 41 to the 24-yard line after he was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Spun away from the pack, broke 2 tackles, found a hole, and went downfield. Just another pedestrian run with pressure. Near sideline, touchdown number 2 for Jamian Theodore. 24-yard touchdown catch, and Briggs Cherry just kind of made it look easy that time because number 1 had busted open. 3rd touchdown of the night. 3rd touchdown of the quarter for the Red Raiders.
And let's give Zero credit for an outstanding block that really set the table for the whole thing.
You mean he can block too?
He can do it all.
Cherry to Jamian Theodore for the touchdown. So after a scoreless first quarter, Baylor has put 21 points on the board in quarter number 2.
And again, Jim, at the 9-minute mark, things started to change. And they have ever since.
So
watch the replay, folks. Watch the block by number 0, David Gabriel Georges. Right there.
Yes.
And then a nice, easy throw. Theodore behind everybody. Just an easy pitch and catch from Briggs Cherry. And it's 21-0 Red Raiders.
Jamian Theodore scored the first touchdown of the game, a 48-yarder. That's half of that, 24. Points are the same, 7, and that's 21-0 Red Raiders with the lead. Yeah, it's okay for an offensive lineman to celebrate. Charlie Edgeworth. Charlie Edgeworth and Briggs Cherry both headed to Louisville to become Louisville Cardinals. Briggs Cherry said, I'll go, but I'm taking this guy with me. I'm taking an offensive lineman with me. Fielded on around the 15.
Interesting strategy on special teams tonight. Shorter kicks covered very well by the Red Raiders.
Yeah, a little bit higher, a little bit shorter. That obviously gives your team time to come down. And so 2:38 to play in the first half.
Irish desperately needs some points here, but you have to be patient. There is no such thing as a 21-point possession. If I'm Mac Bartholomew, I just want to get my team in position, and if I can find a way to get number 7 in single coverage, that would be outstanding. Oh, wow.
That's an assist and a pick by Colby Barrett.
Jamie and Theodore tips it. Colby Barrett reels it in. Colby Barrett had an interception against this very same team 2 weeks ago, and this sets the table for more Baylor offense.
I think that's 6 picks for the season now for Colby Barrett, the Mississippi State commit. Watch this. Give an assist.
Timeout, Knoxville Catholic.
So here's
First
the
time out of the
pass.
half.
Tipped by Jamie and Theodore, and a one-handed reel in by Colby Barrett. Concentration in full effect for the Baylor defense.
Well, you and I have both seen 1,000 times teams run the tip drill, right? They do that and practice that when you get that deflection, and that time it worked to perfection. Tip drill and a pick. Now, if Baylor can score on this possession, I think the Fighting Irish will be in big trouble.
And
Red Raiders up 3 scores, 21-0, and they've scored their last 3 possessions after a scoreless first quarter. So plenty of time taken over with 2:32 to play in the first half. Baylor with a couple of timeouts remaining. So
boy, since that big fourth down stop by the Irish,
things have turned,
it's
haven't they?
been a different football team on offense for the guys in red.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Second pick of the night for Baylor. Caden Dewey, far sideline on the reverse, tapped out of bounds.
Wow.
After he picks up a first down.
That's going to go, I mean, that's a nice pistol look that time, just an easy pitch to Caden Dewey and an easy first down. Braxton Rain nicked up from his tight end spot, number 18, but he's going to stay in there and just keep plugging along.
From the 28-yard line, where it's again 1st down and 10 after that 11-yard pickup on first down. 1st and 10, 28. Handoff up the gut. Uh-oh. 0.
Wow.
He is running better tonight than he has in 6 weeks.
Yes. David Gabriel Georges.
And this right now is a 27-point second quarter.
Boy, David went north and south, then east and west, and north and south one more time to get into the end zone. You knew that was coming.
Sooner or later. .28-yard touchdown run for David Gabriel Georges. 39 yards on the drive after the pick. So we were talking about the Irish possibly getting back into the game at the end of the first half. And then they'll have the first possession second half. So think about that. That's a 14-point turnaround.
And a 14-second possession. Well, we talk about complementary football. Your defense makes a spectacular play. They set the table, and your offense makes this look entirely too easy.
2 plays, 39 yards, 16 seconds. Bam, bam. A great play on the pick. And after a scoreless first quarter, it's now 28-0. Red Raiders on top.
And Jim, if you're the Irish now, this is the pressure that offense puts on teams. You're down 4 scores. Your first priority is just get to halftime, kill the final 2 minutes and 16 seconds without the wheels coming off again.
Yeah, don't let Baylor touch it again is your mantra right now. Regroup at halftime, get the first possession of the second half, and try and make it a football game. Shutters kicks it off. End over end in the end zone. Now that's how you limit returns, I'm telling you. That's the best.
Works every time.
That's the best philosophy right there.
Here's a look at this touchdown by David Gabriel Georges, 28 yards. He goes north and south. Now we're going to go sideways. We're going to find the crease and then turn it upfield, and a nice stiff arm with feeling.
I'm not sure that was more of a love tap. I don't think there's a lot of.
That's not the full. You're right. That's not the Joe Frazier left-handed stiff arm.
From the 20-yard line, first down and 10 for the Irish. They got him.
Man, that's a interesting concept with Tyreek King, but the Irish were there, the Red Raiders there to swarm and shut that down.
Well, they want to get him the ball in some way.
Timeout, Baylor. First time out of the half.
How about that?
And look at this, Jim.
I like that.
This is just where they just keep coming at you.
This is what we talked about when you say keep your foot on the gas pedal.
Yes.
You call a timeout and said, I'm not satisfied
Absolutely.
with a 28-0 lead. I want the ball back one more time. That's that whole philosophy. And you say, simple timeout. That is, okay, we want the ball back. We want the possession one more time in the first half. We're gonna not let you coast into halftime and regroup.
Because they know mentally 4 scores is difficult. 5
is not impossible.
But you're only going to get the ball probably 5 or 6
Yeah.
times the entire second half. Yeah, if you're Knox Catholic, priority 1, we got to find a way to kill the final 2 minutes and 8 seconds of the second quarter.
That looked kind of easy a second ago, but now after you gain, maybe a yard on first down? Second down 9. Up the middle.
Oh, man, that was a solid stick.
So it's going to be third down.
Keaton Whaley bringing the wood, number 15.
Timeout, Baylor.
Yes.
Second timeout of the half.
So now you're going to make Knox Catholic punt. Well, it's 3rd and 5. Okay, you got a 3rd and 5 situation.
But you see here, Jim, there's no let up. There is no let up. There is no time to be for Knox Catholic to kind of catch their breath.
And here's the other thing. 3rd and 5. Are you taking the passing game away from Knox Catholic, meaning you throw incomplete pass? You're going to give Baylor a minute 45 left.
That's a great point.
If you run right here, don't pick up the first down. You can at least kill that play clock situation. So you're almost saying, I'm going to limit you to your choose your poison right here.
And if you're going to go deep, they have 2 really nice options. Braylon Gibbs, number 3, and, of course, Tyreek King, who we've talked about all night, number 7.
But those are, to either one of those, it may be a long developing play, and I'm not sure your quarterback has long developing amount of time back there. Let's see. He does have time. Swings it out near, and so there you go. Look at clock stop with a minute 57. Baylor's going to have time to do some damage on a final possession.
Boy, that was a pass Matthew Rogers should have had.
No question.
Just looked upfield and lost the handle. That's a key mistake for the Irish.
Good job by that defensive group.
And Jim, they've gotten a substantial amount of pressure without having to blitz.
Taking his time.
And Jamie needs to let that go.
Yeah. So they'll start at the 37-yard line, but with 1:54.
Plenty of time.
So think about this. The Irish took over with 2:16, and they punted away, and now there's 1:53.
That's a 23
That's a
second
23
possession.
second drive based on Baylor calling timeout twice. 1:53 to play in the first half.
You don't always see fantastic clock management in high school football for a lot of different reasons. You just saw spectacular clock management on that defensive possession by Baylor.
I just think Baylor set a tone right there. Listen, you know what? We're not going to let you kill the final 2 minutes. We're going to keep that pressure on. That's kind of been our theme of the night. How about this pressure? Try and stop zero again. He'll pick up another first down.
That may be a face mask or a horse collar.
On a late couple of penalty flags. You're grabbing onto whatever you can with that guy.
I tell you what, David Gabriel George is a 5-star all-world. He has paid a price this season every time he has run up the middle. There's been more hits and grabs and yanks, but that's part of that position.
I don't think there's any doubt he was less than 100% several games. And again, we're seeing a new version of him.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So that's about a 10-yard run and a 15-yard penalty, so at 25 yards.
Jim, another key mistake by the Irish. 1:45 left. You're down 4 scores.
I think it's fixing to be more. Cherry.
Yeah, got a little greedy, decent, outstanding defense actually that time for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, David Gabriel Georges, he could have swung that pass too, but you're right, greedy he wanted a little bit more downfield.
And
Baylor,
let's credit
last time out of the half.
Anton Hamilton, he plays both ways, number 57 on the offensive line and a force that time on the defensive line for Knox Catholic.
Not too many times that Briggs Cherry has been sacked this year. Baylor uses their final timeout of the first half.
But you know what, Jim? He didn't force the football. Yes, you take a sack, but when you look at the horsepower he has at his disposal and situationally knowing where he is in the game, that's okay.
I'll go back and say that Eric Kimry said he's thrown one bad ball in 2 years. And that was a pick last year. And I've said many times, much to the chagrin of our crew, that Briggs Cherry has not thrown an interception this season. He threw 3 last year, and 2 of them were not his fault.
Okay, you can't say that again, Jim. Look, we're gonna have to outlaw that.
Is that
stat.
a dare?
We're gonna have to outlaw that stat.
I scoff at that. In trouble again. Steps away. Penalty flag down. Might be another holding call.
You wanted DeGennaro there. You're right, Jim. That probably is going to be a holding call. Knox Catholic playing with a real sense of desperation here, bringing anybody and everybody to try and put some pressure on Briggs Cherry.
Well, I think it's one of those situations they haven't been successful just playing the Red Raiders straight up. So what are you going to do?
Go.
You got to gamble.
Holding offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Tough penalty for this drive for the Red Raiders right there. They call Osenda for that? He's not penalized very often, I'll say that. 6'8", 320 senior who's a commit to Tennessee. Second down. Baylor picks up a first down at the Irish 29-yard line.
And what a way to get that started. Second in a bunch, you find Theodore absolutely wide open, push the defense back, way too much cushion. And now, Jim, you've got
a minute 14.
You got a third and somewhat manageable 6 yards. 19 on that completion.
And I think you have 2 downs to get the 6.
No doubt about that.
I'm not sure if you run, though. I don't know. You got a guy averaging 11 yards a carry. What the heck?
But they're out of timeouts. Cherry sees something he wants to change.
3-man front for the Irish. They send the linebacker. We are going to run. David Gabriel Georges got the first down and more inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And they are able to overcome that holding call and pick up the first down.
Took a shot and delivered one at the end of that run.
He is running better than ever tonight, I think.
I agree. Clock continues to run here.
Throwing on the run in the end zone. There he is again.
Wow.
Jamie Theodore. His third touchdown catch of the night. His third touchdown catch of the quarter.
It is the Jamie Theodore show. Number 1, having some fun there.
All 35 points in the second quarter. That's a crazy number. 48 seconds to play in the half. Red Raiders go 63 yards. Took over with a minute 53 and score with 48, so they use what? 105. 65 seconds time of possession. I think that was masterful, calling the 2 timeouts during the Irish possession, giving yourself the football back, taking over with 1:53 remaining in the half, and scoring 65 seconds later.
Cherry is going to roll. That's the run by David Gabriel Georges. Watch the finish here. And then you're going to see Briggs Cherry roll to his right. Braxton Rain will lead the charge. And they find Jamie and Theodore in the near corner of the end zone. I'll tell you this, the Irish defense, they got to get some help. They better double cover number 1. Because he's having a night.
Jamie and Theodore, of the 5 touchdowns in this quarter, Jamie and Theodore scored number 1, number 3, and number 5. So he's staying on the odd numbers, right? 5 touchdowns in the quarter. He scored 1, 3, and 5. That's called putting on a show in the biggest moment. That's a nice kickoff.
That is a great kick. Tyreek King, though, he refuses to go down. And he had to field it, Jim. That was either going to spin one way or the other, and Tyreek King did the best thing he could do, was field the catch and turn it upfield as quickly as he could. So Baylor out of timeouts, and if you're the Irish, you need to kill 40 seconds, go into locker room, and try and find some answers.
35 points in the quarter. All 35. We were in a scoreless tie entering the second quarter. Bartholomew, the quarterback. Kind of a dangerous pass.
Boy, that was a dangerous pass.
They're trying to get it to King. They've tried. They've handed it off. They've thrown it short. They've thrown it long. And the one time that they threw long, they actually had him. He just couldn't adjust and make the reception. .36 seconds to play in the half, and a 35-0 lead for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the smart play.
Yeah, see if you bust one up the middle, if something crazy happens. If not, You don't have to snap it again if you don't want to.
That's
Why?
right.
Why would you? That's my question. Unless you just want to put one up for grabs in the final seconds of the first half. If I'm the Irish, I'm taking it to the house. Let's see what they do. They're gonna do play one more play, and throw it long. I get it.
You know, Jim, if you're going to run that play, give yourself some wiggle room and some time to run it properly.
35-0 after a scoreless first quarter. 35-0. 5 touchdowns in the second quarter. 4 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run. We were tied, zip. 10:48 mark second quarter. Jamie and Theodore, touchdown catch number 1, a 48-yarder. Then a 52-yard Cherry to Braxton Rain touchdown pass at the 7:20 mark. Cherry to Theodore, 24 yards, 2:44 to play in the second quarter. David Gabriel Georges after a turnover. Red Raiders get it back, and David Gabriel Georges scores on a touchdown run. And then the final one, Cherry to Theodore, 19 yards with 48 seconds to play in the half.
Let's take a look at the highlight reel from the first half. This gets us started. Little screen pass to Jamie and Theodore, and number 1 takes it to the house. That is the first touchdown of the night. Let's take a look at this ground level. And watch number 1, the speed here and right here. Just turns it on, and number 1 is gone. First touchdown of the night. That's a 49-yarder to make it 7-0 Red Raiders. And then Braxton Rain, the 6'7" tight end in the middle of the field, number 18, nobody behind him, takes it for the touch. We're going to take a look at this again from ground level. You'll see some of the nice blocking by the Baylor offensive line. Cherry, what a lane to throw to. An easy completion and a touchdown. That makes it 14-0. 75 yards and 4 plays. And then we're back to defense. Pressure that time. They meet at the quarterback. Jaden Arenas-Michelle, Colby Barrett, that's a sack. And here comes the attack again. Number 1, Jamie and Theodore. Is it that easy? It has been tonight. It has been tonight. That makes it 21-0. And then how about this? Deflection by Theodore. The interception by Colby Barrett. Great defensive concentration, which leads to more offense. They get right back to work. David Gabriel Georges, as he's going to take this one to the house from 39 yards out. They go 2 plays, 39 yards in 16 seconds, and then finally one more time. Coming at you, Jamie and Theodore gets both feet in bounds. 35 points in the second quarter. They lead at 35-0 at the half.
In the postseason, the stars are supposed to come out, right? And I would say that's the exact story of the first half. Theodore for 48, Cherry to Braxton Rain for 52, Cherry to Theodore again for 24, David Gabriel Georges with a touchdown run, Cherry to Theodore for 19 yards and the touchdown. 35-0 the score at the intermission. Earlier this week, it was signing day, and a lot of Red Raiders are going to go some interesting places. A great signing day for the Red Raider family. Let's take a look.
I want to welcome everyone to our 2025 Fall Signing Day. This is such a special day for us at Baylor. It takes so much to get to this point, right? All the time and effort that is spent, most of which is never seen. And so I love reminding student athletes on days like today that you are all here because of all the work that you put in, but you're also here as the result of all the work of your family who've taken you to all your practices and supported you along the way, and all your coaches who have supported you and encouraged you, maybe pushed you further than you thought you could be pushed on occasion to get you to where you are here. This is one of those few days where I actually like to celebrate any color other than red. But I will remind you of one thing. No matter what colors you wear beyond the gates of Baylor, we're going to support you and follow your careers, and I can't wait to see what you're going to be able to accomplish in the years to come.
The winner of this game will take on the winner of Briarcrest and Macaulay next week. If Baylor wins, they will be at home for sure. If Knox Catholic wins, I think Knox Catholic would be on the road next week. Like I said, the winner of this game takes on the winner of Briarcrest and Macaulay. We just checked. Macaulay's been inside the red zone twice and has not scored. They fumbled once, and they turned it over on downs once. So that game is still scoreless early in the second quarter. Knox Catholic will have the football to start the second half. One of the few times that Baylor got the first possession of the game, did not score. In fact, didn't score their first two possessions. First possession for Baylor ended on downs, and the second possession, Baylor punted. But then they scored on the next 5 in a row and have a 35-0 lead. Didn't score in the first quarter, 35 points in the second quarter. I think that's the biggest quarterly output of the season for the Red Raiders.
And I think that's the first time they've been shut out in the first quarter.
Yeah, you might be right. 35-0 Red Raiders on top.
Boy,
I always like that.
Nice kick.
That just gets everyone off of their page. When you're able to throw that ground ball up the middle.
I agree.
So not much of a return. Again, bobbled, throws everything out of sync. So that answers our question right there. Meaning mercy rule. I just wanted to be sure that the mercy rule, which is 30 points or more, applies in the playoffs. And obviously, with a running clock, it does. So you're down by 5 scores in your you're Knox Catholic, and that clock's going to continue to run. That's going to make it doubly tough on the Fighting Irish to get back into this one, because this second half could possibly fly by. That's one thing they have to do. They have to get the ball in that guy's hands, although not successful that time.
What a great open field tackle by Keaton Whaley.
Got him by the ankle. Wasn't going to let go, was he?
No.
But you're right. Someone with that speed like Tyreek King, you just want to make sure that he doesn't get by you.
And Jim, that was a no gain on first down. No gain.
2nd and 10 from the 20. But I think if I'm Knox Catholic, I'm making sure 7 gets the football a whole bunch in this second half. It's my best chance.
You know, you need room to operate for sure, and I think that's what they're trying to accomplish right now.
Third down and long. Again, we talked about this with the running clock. Really, how many possessions will Knox Catholic get in the second half? Baylor's got too many on the field, apparently, and they scurry off to limit that number to 11. And they changed quarterbacks, haven't they?
They have. And it's
Garrett King.
Going to be the same result. Yeah, they did this 2 weeks ago. They started with King and then went to Bartholomew. Now they go from Bartholomew to King.
Yeah, Bartholomew was the quarterback for most of the early part of the season. Then King had a couple of good games. They started him. They started him 2 weeks ago against the Red Raiders.
They're going to man down for Baylor. They wanted to go to Tyreek King, Jim, but things just broke down. There was no way Garrett King could get the football that deep to number 7.
So clock stopped with 9:27 to play in the third quarter. We do have a running clock, although stopped right now. It's not going to just continue to run during an injury. Stopped right now because of the injury, but it'll crank up once again. That's going to make this second half very short and limit the number of possessions. Well, for both teams, but if you're Knox Catholic, you know one thing. You need at least 5 possessions, right? You may not.
At least.
This will be the first possession, second half.
I think that is Maddox McClure, who is back on his feet, checking out.
A little slow.
Yeah, that's 67, Maddox McClure. Again, so many of these linemen play both ways for Baylor.
Nice high kick. And the fair catch wisely called for and made around the 41-yard line.
Sure-handed Jamie Theodore, who had himself a fun first half.
Woo! 3 touchdowns in the second quarter alone for Jamie Theodore. And I mean, a couple of those, he was wide open. The first one, he did a lot on his own. I think just the burst of speed, like I said, kind of threw that angle off. Knox Catholic thinking they could just bump out of bounds. Never got close enough. 1st and 10 with a running clock.
And look at Jack Ferguson just weave his way through the blocks, and that's a gain of about 8 on first down, and that's a great way to start this possession.
Well, Eric Kimmery told me, he said, if we get in that position where we feel comfortable and I'm able to substitute, the guys that won't play are the guys that need the rest the most. But I thought David Gabriel Georges, who's not in there right now, I thought he had that true burst back in the first half that I don't think we've seen in a month.
Man, I agree with you on that 100%.
2nd down. Complete and a pop out of bounds.
Boy, Jim, and what a decision by Briggs Cherry. He squared up and got rid of the football the minute Hank DeGennaro stopped and sat and waited for the football. Got rid of it quickly, and that's one thing that led to that first down.
So with the running clock on the mercy rule is 30 points or more. The clock continues to run unless there's a timeout or injury. Continues to run in the second half. In the first half, both coaches have to agree, and that rarely happens. It wouldn't happen in a playoff game. But this third quarter may be a pretty short stint. Ferguson. He's not going down, is he?
We're already almost halfway through.
Yeah, Baylor took possession. Again with the running clock. I put down 9 minutes and 11 seconds is when they took over on this possession. So with 1 or 2 possessions, you could burn a good chunk of this second half. And again, normally I say a first down takes up at least 2 minutes. A first down here may take up 5 minutes.
Sure.
Because of that running clock, because of the mercy rule. See, 2 receivers left and 1 right. Briggs Cherry remains in the game, and they move the tight end, Braxton Rain, from right side to left side and hand it off to Ferguson as he tries to go wide. And I think the Irish taking out a little frustration.
Boy, let's see where they're going to call his forward progress. That'll be a key spot here.
Dabo making that tackle from the linebacker position.
Coach Kimmery wants the clock to run. It's not running. He wants that clock to run.
Look at him. He's making
Now
that
it's
run the
running.
clock motion because, yeah, it was not supposed to stop. That was a mistake.
Well, I don't know. Did they call it?
Holding offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
They're going to get Braxton Rain for a hold. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Second and a bunch now.
Couple of changes. Knox Catholic puts Jeremy George back in the game. The 6'5", 315 senior nose guard. You see him, big 76?
Yes, sir.
Kind of in the center of your screen. Can you see him? You can't miss seeing him. Second down and long. Here's what you try to do. I think in this situation, you're up 35 now. Get half of it back and see if you can get the first down. Ferguson goes left, nothing there. Goes back right.
Trying to stay in bounds. Clock runs anyway. This is where things kind of bog down, Jim. You're trying to eat so much clock that your offense can sometimes lose rhythm.
Yeah, you kind of figure you don't do what you normally do.
Sure.
So third down and long. Gained about 5 right there, so third down and 12 is correct. Red Raiders with the football at the Irish 38-yard line. All those 35 points you see on the board scored in the second quarter.
A lot of movement that time on the Irish defensive line. That may have triggered an offsides for Baylor.
Before the snap, false start, offense, number 79.
Second
5-yard penalty, still third down.
Yeah, it looked like the Irish were going to stunt or twist or do something in there, and then the Red Raiders reacted a little bit, got out of their stance.
That's the second time they've gotten that to happen. They've coaxed that out of the Red Raider offense.
So a third and 12 becomes third and 17 back at the 43-yard line. Third and 17 from the 43. And again, the Red Raiders took possession with about 9:11 to play in the quarter. So they've had it 5.5 minutes right now. Up in the air, looking for a receiver on that far sideline. That'll work.
Beckham Stokes, how do you do?
The sophomore wide receiver gets in the scoring act.
Once again, Jim, pretty tight coverage that time.
That's 6 straight possessions with a touchdown. 6 straight possessions for the Red Raiders. That a 43-yarder?
Holding,
let's see
offense, number 28. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, still third down.
So they're going to get Jack Ferguson with the hold there.
And Beckham Stokes is saying, come on, how many chances do I get like that?
Great execution, but the holding penalty wipes it out.
That hurt.
Hello.
Okay, we won't.
Yeah, we won't. There we go. Turn that mic off. Turn that rough mic off. You never know what's going to happen. Back at the 46-yard line now.
Third down and an acre.
Yeah. I think it's third and 22. Oof. Little punishment on the sideline.
Delivers a shot.
There you go. So it's fourth down. I don't see that punting team, do you?
Well,
there he is.
Yes.
There's number 95. Sam Shutters will punt it away. But this drive takes about 7 minutes. 7 minutes plus right now. Took possession at the 9:11 mark. We'll punt it away. Despite all the penalties and everything else, and not gaining a whole bunch of yards, but took 7 minutes off the clock. Low snap. Nice high kick. Fair catch called for and made around the 16-yard line.
Great job on special teams. You really, anytime you get that offense, you're the opposing offense starting inside the 20, that's a solid effort by special teams.
So the Irish take over first and 10 on their own 16-yard line and a very quick moving mercy rule. Committed the cardinal sin myself. Put 7 on the board and then had to take it off with that penalty flag. Let's call it the 17-yard line. First down and 10 Irish. They've already taken 30 seconds off the clock on this drive. No sense of urgency. Down by 35 points. As we mentioned in the second half, the Irish have changed quarterbacks. A lot of this season, Mac Bartholomew was at quarterback. In the game 2 weeks ago here, Garrett King started. He had a good game the week before. They started the sophomore. Bartholomew came in 2 weeks ago and really played well against the Red Raiders. And they went with him last week in a win over Christian Brothers. And he started here tonight, but going back to the sophomore right now.
There, they finally get the ball to Tyreek King. That'll move the chains.
But he's been pretty quiet so far tonight.
They've done aside from that one deep ball that he got behind everyone that was just a bit off target.
Again, if Baylor goes on and wins here tonight as the third quarter about to come to an end, they will be at home next week against the winner of McCallie and Briarcrest. And McCallie has scored in the second quarter. McCallie now with a 7-0 lead over Briarcrest, so might see the red and the blue next week. Might. If the Red Raiders win tonight, they'll definitely be at home next week. Wash with red. Yeah, McCallie threw a 12-yard touchdown pass to take the lead over Briarcrest. Extra point good. 7-0 lead, Blue Tornado. And then Briarcrest had the punt, and McCallie has the possession. So McCallie has the football and a 7-0 lead. That game is an hour behind us, being played in Memphis. Could be a rematch, a fun rematch. That was a great game between Baylor and McCallie at McCallie earlier this year that Baylor won 38-35. Game next week would be right here. King flush from the pocket. Throws on the run and the pass incomplete. Dangerous toss, I would say, right there, but
yes,
good coverage by the Red Raiders.
Darren Gila all over that one, number 4.
Was. He's a big man for a corner. Knox Catholic, they're not in a hurry, are they?
A bit deliberate. For lack of a better word.
At the 28-yard line, 2nd down and 10. King, kind of a sidearm toss, complete. Clock continues to run. That's the best friend of the Red Raiders right now, is that time continuing to tick off. And again, you're down if you're Knox Catholic, you're down 35-0. We speculated how many possessions would they get in the second half. This is only their second. Second possession, second half. Middle screen. Breaking a tackle.
Well,
nice run.
Nice execution that time. They got Cruz Bunton. Boy, they put Tyreek King in motion to the near side, and that attracted some attention, and the middle of the field was absolutely wide open. They got it to number 8, Cruz Bunton, for the biggest gain of the second half for the Irish.
Might be the biggest gain of the game.
It might be.
One of the biggest anyway, to the 33-yard line. Yeah, Tyreek King, if you don't know, number 7, bottom of your screen right there, the 5-star wide receiver committed to the University of Tennessee. he's either got to be a factor or a great decoy. But he's not going to catch on the hop.
Well, he can catch it. He just can't do much with it.
He has had a couple of moments tonight where he looked like he could be a difference maker. He did, as Craig talked about, got back of the defense a couple of times tonight, misfired on a throw, but really the best thing that could happen for Baylor would be for Tyreek King to be quiet tonight. He's been pretty quiet.
And I'm just amazed at the slow motion offense here of
I am too.
Knox Catholic Irish.
I mean, I understand the pulling off 35 points in the fourth quarter is not easy. Jump ball. And yes, that's what
King
happened.
took it.
When you're Tyreek King, you say, my guy's going to win the jump ball a lot of times, and he sure did that time.
He did. He just took it from Jamie and Theodore. That's not going to sit well with number one. That gets him on the board, and that takes away the mercy rule.
What?
Yes.
"33-yard touchdown pass to the 5-star wide receiver." And that's when a quarterback does indeed have confidence in a receiver. If I put it up, if it's a 50-50 ball, I'm trusting my guy, and that's what Tyreek King did right there. First points of the game for the Irish, and they come with 8:57 to play in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
As we said, the mercy rule has got to be 30 points or more. So we are now under that 30-point margin, right? That means we will go by the normal rules of time management and clock management. With 8:57 left to play in the game.
Things have really bogged down offensively for the Red Raiders.
Well, things may change right here.
They need
now
to.
that clock's not running, it may change your philosophy at
Yes.
least a little bit. And again, you can keep the ball on the ground. You can utilize a Jack Ferguson a lot. So I'm going to see you again in about 10 hours from now. Is that about right?
No doubt.
I know you're looking forward to that.
We'll watch the game all the way to Macon. We'll watch this one on YouTube.
So the Irish will kick it off to the Red Raiders with just under 9 minutes to play in the football game. Baylor had scored on 5 straight possessions. Try the onside kick. There's a little sense of urgency right there.
And I think that's a great play because Baylor's had some trouble with that at times this season, and they were up to the challenge.
See, if you're the offense, you don't have to wait for that ball to travel 10 yards. The kicking team does.
That was Jordan Darren-Gila
Yes,
with
it
the
was.
recovery there. And this puts the Red Raiders in great shape to start this drive at about the 48.
In Irish territory. Handoff up the middle. Well, we don't talk about Jack Ferguson enough. He's just a reliable guy. He's not David Gabriel Georges. I understand that. But he's been great to come in and
he is effective,
secure the football, runs hard every single time.
Takes care of the football.
And a lot of times when he's in the game, that's priority one, right? Don't turn it over. Took it over on the 48, picking up 5 yards on first down. You keep it on the ground, you get first downs, that clock runs anyway. wisely using all that play clock, right? No hurry for Baylor. And little things that Briggs Cherry does that people don't notice sometimes. That's shifty move. So Ferguson gets to about the 40, and it'll be third down and a couple. Third down and about 2. Has to get to the 38-yard line to get a first down. So 3rd and 2, and like I said earlier several times tonight, you probably have 2 cracks to get 2 yards, if need be.
If you're going to put this thing away early, this first down, they need to convert on one of these next 2 downs to keep the chains moving and the clock running.
I don't know if he got 2.
Irish came on a bit of a run blitz that time. They brought Marquise Witt from his nickel position, number 40. He did a nice job of blowing that play up.
I think he got 1 yard. I don't think he got 2. See where they spot it. Yeah, that's about right. He got to the 39, had to get to the 38. So 4th down.
Timeout. Knox Catholic.
Wow.
First time out of the half.
I guess
okay, Jim.
my thought is I want to save my timeouts, but maybe you're thinking right now that if I use a timeout, get a stop on this 4th down play, that may be more valuable.
But you had so much time in the second half to not be so deliberate, but frankly so slow with the football with a running clock. You got to move faster.
Yeah,
basically the third quarter evaporated.
Didn't feel that sense of urgency till they scored the touchdown.
Right.
When they had opportunities before that.
Well,
so 4th down and a yard.
This is a job for this Baylor offensive line. Can you lean on these dudes
for a yard?
For a long yard.
I think if Baylor picks up this first down, it's over. I really do. Because you're going to be able to take up a couple more minutes. Quick pop pass to Braxton Rain for the first down. Just something quick right there. I think he's got the first down for sure.
And he did such a nice job of showing block and then separating from the defense. An easy completion.
That's one of those, sometimes you just hold that tight end for a second and release him, as you said. Quick pop pass, had to get to the 40, had to get to the 38, got to the 36 for a first down.
Irish have 2 timeouts left. Baylor with their full complement of 3 timeouts.
Which they will not use, I don't think.
Right. I agree.
1 receiver left. That's Hank. 2 receivers top of your screen on 1st and 10. Now you can go back to number 28 and say, just you, look at that.
And you got a lot of frustration.
Well, the flag was thrown, but not on that play that was right in front of our camera. Xavier Wade, you could tell he's caught up, right?
A lot of frustration in the trenches tonight.
No
between
question.
These two.
You would think if there was a flag that was going to be thrown, it would have been the one that we saw right in front of us. But that was a good move by the Baylor player. Just put his hands back, say, hey.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 22. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's on the senior George Mancini. And that's going to move it down even farther. Down to the 15.
Wow. Those penalties like that are just so
like
critical.
It has really hurt the Irish tonight
No question.
in a lot of key situations.
And there have been some big walk-offs tonight. We had a face mask earlier for 15. We've had a lot of holding calls tonight. couple of times tonight you said, is this really game number 10 and 11 for the year?
And you just got called for that. You just got called for a little extracurricular, and
take him down to the ground after the whistle, or as the whistle was blowing, I guess. 5:25 and counting left to play in this playoff game. Second round of the playoffs. First game for Baylor after the Red Raiders received a first round bye. Like we've said all night long, Baylor wins. They're at home next week.
And Jim, there's a change at quarterback for Baylor. Costamadio checks in for Briggs Cherry.
So Cosmo in the game with under 5 minutes to play. To Ferguson. Ferguson cuts it upfield and gains maybe a yard or two. Costamadio, the quarterback, comes the other way and goes to the Baylor bench. Just to get a word from his head coach.
Third and 11, Jim. Are you in 4-down territory, or do you take the...
Now, didn't they got an automatic first down via the penalty. I thought that would be was that second down? Was it?
That's what the down marker says.
I agree with that.
Man, I'm a bit confused myself.
Ferguson goes up the middle, does not get the first down.
So decision time here. Good to see Maddox McClure, number 67, check back in.
Yeah, he was dinged up a little bit earlier.
And it looks like, yes, sir, Sam Shutters, number 95, is going to come in here. Costamadio, the holder.
There's two reasons you're doing this. A, to get back in the mercy rule, and B,
little work for 95.
You're in the championship game, you're down by 2, whatever it is. No good.
And no good. Wow.
I'm like you, that looked good for a long time.
It did.
But no argument. So missed field goal. Baylor with 35 points in the second quarter alone. Scored all their points in quarter number 2. And that was an offensive show, I'm just telling you. 5 straight possessions with a touchdown. 3:18 remaining. At halftime, McCauley with a 14-0 lead over Briarcrest. 14-0.
Goodness, we have an interception, but it looks like Keaton Whaley has pulled a hamstring or hopefully a cramp or
that looks
something.
more cramp right there because he's... That's a big pick. I think that's turnover number 3 by the Irish. And the Red Raiders have not turned it over so far tonight. So when you win the turnover battle 3-0, and that's where it is right now.
You're tough to beat.
3 extra possessions. So Baylor gets it right back at the 26-yard line.
And again, they're going to go with DiMatteo at quarterback.
Makes sense. So like I said, McCauley with a 14-0 halftime lead over Briarcrest in Memphis. Oh, high snap. Ferguson's going to be the workhorse on these final couple of minutes. Try and grind out a win. 3 minutes left to play in the game. In this quarterfinal round game. Baylor got a first round bye last week, as you know, but Knox Catholic had to go to Briarcrest and win that game 21-18. to advance to this contest here tonight. Second down, about 8.
Boy, Ferguson trying to find a
Yeah.
hole and just trying to get behind that offensive line and make something happen, and we got another flag.
Yeah, they were, let me say, slow to disengage. I'll put it that way. 2:18 remaining. I don't know if it's just the playoff atmosphere or because these two teams played just 2 weeks ago, but seems like it's getting personal out there.
I would think so.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 57. Half the distance to the goal, results in a first down.
How many of those have we seen tonight? Not half the distance to the goal, but these personal fouls.
Timeout, Knoxville Catholic.
That's on.
Second timeout of the half.
That's on Anton Hamilton.
He's gotten a couple, right?
I'm telling you what, he's gotten his money's worth.
Three turnovers tonight for the Fighting Irish, as we said. That long interception looked like a punt, and a pick earlier in this one.
Let's take a look at this pick. Trying to force one in. Look at the coverage. Trying to force it in. The ball was just off target. And Keaton Whaley there for the INT.
Yeah, he could have done a lot more with it, but I think it was a cramped.
I agree.
More than a hamstring. Hamstring, one of those that you would see a magical, an instant change. That you could tell when he caught it, might have cramped.
Now they're going to mark the ball, Jim, at the 13-yard line. 2:18 to go. And Baylor's about 13 yards away from punching a ticket to the state semifinals,
which would be
right here in 7 days.
It looks like the game that we talked about is going to materialize. That means Red Raiders, Blue Tornado, because, as I said, McCauley with a 14-point lead right now. At Briarcrest, that game at halftime. They're an hour behind us, playing in Memphis. Handoff near side, Ferguson. He gets his money's worth. Clock continues to run. No 2-minute warning in the high school ranks. If you're Eric Kimmer, you just want this game to end.
He lost yardage, but they still signal first down on the down marker. I don't think we can have two plays without a penalty here in the fourth quarter.
Tell us something. They're about to play.
After the play, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 82. Half the distance penalty will be added to the end of the run. Second down.
All righty.
Clock running once again as they're about the 5-yard line. So is it going to be Cosmo or will be Jack Ferguson? Oh, Cosmo's just going to take a knee right there.
So they will have to snap it one more time.
So Baylor's going to win their first playoff game of the year. First round bye, second round win. Right now it stands at 35-7. Head of school will be here next week, I have a hunch. Take one more knee.
And that's going to do it.
I would say by Baylor's standards, a slow start, right? Because they didn't score in their first 2 possessions, then scored 5 possessions in a row, and then didn't score again.
And didn't need to, as it turns out.
So it'll be the winner, Baylor at home next week. That's 7 o'clock. TSSAA mandates that kickoff time. Normally Baylor kicks off at 7:30. 7 o'clock via TSSAA rules. And we'll take on the winner of McCallie and Briarcrest, and that game again an hour in back of us because they're playing in Memphis. And McCallie has a 14-0 lead at halftime. So it very well could be Baylor and McCallie 2.0 next week, and that game would be right here.
Boy, special thanks to the Knox Catholic Sports Information Department. Always gracious with their information and just do a great job. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Promoting their school, helping us out, whatever it takes, we're in favor of. A 35-7 lead, 35-7 victory by the Red Raiders here tonight. Interesting. Don't score as it ends up. Don't score in the second half. All the scoring for the Red Raiders in the second quarter. Knox Catholic with their lone score in the fourth quarter. So the Red Raiders score 35 points in the second quarter. 10:48 mark, Jamian Theodore, 48-yard touchdown pass. 52-yard touchdown, Cherry to Braxton Rain. The third touchdown, Cherry to Theodore, 24 yards. Fourth touchdown, David Gabriel Georges after a fumble scores. And then Cherry to Theodore, 19 yards, the final score of the day for the Red Raiders. And ironically, it occurs with 48 seconds to play in the first half. Baylor had one called back by a penalty in the second half, but 35-7 the second quarter, the final score. Baylor moves into the semifinal rounds of the TSSAA playoffs next week. The winner of Briarcrest and McCallie right here at 7 o'clock. A lot of highlights. Jamian Theodore had a couple of them tonight.
We're going to break it down, tell you the story of the game in 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Go.
Number one, Jamian Theodore gets loose on the near sideline, makes it look easy. 49 yards for the first touchdown of the game. Can we go ground level? Yes, we can. You see a great block there by Hank DeGennaro, the spring Jamian Theodore. That would be the first of 3 touchdowns for Theodore tonight. Briggs Cherry goes back to work. Braxton Rain, middle of the field, number 18, takes it to the house. They go 75 yards in 4 plays, 1 minute, 40 seconds left. Watch Briggs again. Thread the needle, 18 wide open. It's an easy touchdown. And the Red Raiders were off to the races because moments later, still in the second quarter, Briggs Cherry. First, let's talk about that defense, I should say. Hammered sack there. They really closed things down in the second quarter. And then Briggs Cherry goes back to work to number 1, Jamian Theodore. This one from 21 yards out. That would make it 21-0. And the defense comes up with a big play here. The deflection by Theodore, the interception by Colby Barrett. That's just outstanding concentration. And that would set the table for the offense again. We're going to see David Gabriel Georges gets loose, stiff arm, touchdown. That one, another touchdown for the Red Raiders. They go up 28-0, 39 yards in just 2 plays, and then Jamie and Theodore tiptoes in the corner of the end zone. That makes it 35-0. The final 35-7. Defense will close us out. Keaton Whaley with the INT, and the Red Raiders move on to the state semifinals 7 days from tonight.
Like we said, it'll be the winner of the Macaulay-Briarcrest game that is going on right now, with Macaulay owning a 14-0 lead at halftime. So it could very well be the contest between the Blue Tornado and the Red Raiders. We'll be here next week to watch the Red Raiders take on all opponents in the semifinal round of the state tournament. We'll see you next week right here at Haywood Stadium, right on the banks of the Tennessee River, where the Red Raiders with a 35-7 lead over Knoxville Catholic. Have a good night, everyone.